Good morning, good people. What's up? I used to love that advert. Don't ask me why I did it. So, I hope you all had a fantastic weekend, and I also hope that you've all got plenty of work on for this fine Monday morning. Right, let's get straight on. Let me walk you through it. So that hallway that we just passed, that's going to be deep clean this morning. And this lounge through dining room carpet, wow, look at it. Now, this is probably one of the oldest carpets that I've ever cleaned. Now, it was put down in 1952. It is a broadloom woven back Axminster carpet. It is absolute quality. After all these years, it is still looking good. Apart from obviously some areas over here near these patio doors. Now, it has had severe UV damage in that area, as well as a few other areas. When this carpet was originally fitted way back in the 50s, it was actually joined up in 3 different pieces in the back end of this dining room. So it was end on end, side on side, and then another side on side joined there, as you can see where I'm pointing. Now, the reason it was done in a 3-section join piece is because this carpet was never originally measured and brought for this through lounge diner from a retailer. Her husband was actually a tradesman, and he acquired this carpet from a job that he did when he was doing work on a kind of swanky manor home. Now, as you can see, the sun has caused some severe damage here, UV damage where the pile has actually fallen out. Some of the joins just by the patio doors are actually open and they are flapping slightly. Basically, I have got to be very, very careful when I clean this carpet. I actually think to be safe, I'm going to net this area and then clean it through an upholstery tool with a very low PSI on one motor, because I definitely don't want a lot of moisture going into it, and I also don't want a lot of suction, and that's why I'm going to use one vac motor. And even with the vacuuming, I'm going to be going very easy, using the crevice tool and working my way inwards. Over here by the 4-seater curve sofa, we've got more damage, but that's not caused by UV. That is caused by wear and tear. Literally, someone's feet backwards and forwards have rubbed the pile away. Underneath this window, just underneath the radiator, the carpet has actually come off the gripper rods and come back quite a way. In one area near the pipe, it has come away quite severely. But it is a restretch. Obviously, there is going to be no delamination in this carpet with it being a broadloom woven back. It will just need restretching. I'm quite confident that we'll be able to get that fixed up, back on and looking fantastic. I'll also be cleaning all of the upholstery, and that consists of 2 standard chairs and a 4-seater curve sofa. Again, that's got major UV damage, especially around the arm area. Although there is a lot of dust that's been compressed down into this fabric over the years. It's from the 50s. The customer said that they got this sofa set around the same sort of time as the carpet was fitted. I've explained that the UV is unreversible. We can't do anything about that. But the actual framework, springs and everything, it's all in good condition. And so is the actual fabric as well. Now, with it being from the 50s, it surprised me because as soon as I looked at the sofa, I thought it's a Draylon velour. And down here by the radiator, you can see that the carpet has come away quite a bit round the pipe area. You can actually see how much it's come away if you look at the pipe. So that must be about 8 mil that it's actually come away from the radiator pipe. It's come away from the actual grippers further than that, just under the radiator part here. I'm actually going to go around the whole room and just check that it is secure onto the grippers. I've actually got a strong feeling that the gripper down here is not wood gripper as we know it today. I have a feeling it's going to be the old kind of metal gripper that was pinned to the skirting boards. And if it is, that explains a lot, because the pins on modern day gripper work totally different. So let's have a look and see what we can find. I actually haven't priced for any restretching to be done, but this lady's 94 years old and she's an absolute diamond. She's got a fantastic personality and I'm going to help her out any way I can. So yeah, there you go. It's metal gripper. That explains a lot on why it's come away. What I'll be doing is I'll stretch it up, but I am going to put some wet adhesive on the gripper just to give it a little bit of support so that it doesn't come away again. And this pin I'm pointing to is what attaches it to the skirting boards. To remove these grippers are an absolute pain. So yeah, I actually had a quick word with the customer and said, look, I can restretch your carpets in the lounge area under the radiator and in the hallway towards the door bar to the kitchen absolutely free of charge today. And the reason that is, it's just because it's not all about money with myself. Sometimes I want to get the job looking its absolute best, and sometimes I also use it because that customer would probably go and tell her friends as well, which would get us more business long term. All the dark areas here on the arms of the sofa is where natural oils have been leaking out of the hands and fingertips. The dust that I'm patting out there, it's unreal. That is years and years of dust fall. The solution of choice today is going to be Fusion Clean by Solutions World of Clean, mainly because I'm going to be obviously cleaning wall carpeting and a delicate fibre, really, not because it's a delicate fibre naturally, because it is Draylon velour, which is very robust, but it's the age of it. So I want to make sure that I'm not going to cause any damage to the fibres and fabrics. So although Fusion Clean is an encapsulation solution and I'm going to be using a rinse extraction method for cleaning, that's absolutely fine because it's still going to deep clean the fibres. But more importantly, it's safe for the fibres. And I must admit, the customer's dates of the early 50s with the sofa did throw me. So I am going to be doing a fabric test, a thumb test, just to make sure that the fabric is going to be wet cleanable, because we're never too experienced to fall a cropper and be landed with a big bill if it goes wrong. So making sure that it is wet cleanable is very important to myself, and it should be anyone, to be fair. You see, Draylon velour to me is, well, it's always knocked around the 60s, 70s and early 80s. The early 50s really hasn't, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't a natural fibre that wasn't wet cleanable. Oakley dokley then, good people. That is all the vacuuming for the carpeted areas done now. The solution that I'm going to be using on the carpet and the upholstery is mixed up, and we're ready to run that thumb test. So finger or thumb, either or, it doesn't really matter. What you're going to do is dip it in the solution of choice and you're going to hold it against that fabric. Now this is a velour fabric that's got a nap to it, so what we're looking for is, I'm looking for it to pop back up once I remove my finger or thumb. If it does, 9 times out of 10 that's going to say that that is a synthetic fabric and it's wet cleanable. However, if it doesn't, that says that it's a natural fibre and it's absorbent, and you should be very, very careful and only attempt wet cleaning if you really know what you're doing. Always remember, guys, careless use of matches could set fire to this furniture. please. You know you're working with old upholstery when you see a tag like that, and when you slap the fabric like that and it's like beating a rug. I'm using a slightly dampened horsehair brush here with a solution on to get in all of those creases around the arms. It really does help before vacuuming it. On this top cushion here, you can see much more of the natural colouring of the fabric. And here on this one, you can see far less. This one has been bleached by the sun, so it's gone like a reddy purpley kind of colour. I asked the customer while I had the tools out fixing the carpet if she would like me to take a look at the footstool, because the fringe, the tassel bit of the bottom had actually come off and she'd had it tucked away in the storage part of the footstool. So I said, I've got a staple gun on the van. It is a professional quality, and the staples have got a very, very small head, much like the tacks that were used originally to tack it on when the furniture was made. So I asked if you'd like me to do that, and she was absolutely over the moon, and it made my day too, because it made it look a hell of a lot better. It's time to sort out that restretch in the hallway. You can see I'm running my 4 fingers forward here, and I've got a bump that's going with it all the way, but it's not rippling. If it ripples, it's normally a sign of delamination. If the bump stays in a bump or a lump, or it goes behind the hand, that's normally a sign of a restretch. Now, this carpet's been down since the late 80s, early 90s. Looking at the pattern, I didn't actually ask the customer on this hallway piece, but the underlay, it is perished and it's crumbling in places. The bar, the teeth on the bar, they're not fantastic. The grippers aren't fantastic. So I'm using a spray adhesive to give extra support. It's not ideal, you know, when you're restretching, you really want to restretch onto new grippers or a new bar. You don't really want to attach the carpet to the underlay, but it was just in a bad way and it needed sorting out, and I was going to do my utmost to get it sorted out for this particular customer.
I'm very, very glad that I got your details from my friend, Mrs. Jane Bakewell. I just happened to call on her when she was looking at her carpets that you had cleaned, and I noticed how lovely they were. And I'd been intending for ages to get my carpet and the settee cleaned, and she gave me your name and number and address, and I'm absolutely delighted with what you're doing. You're a gem.
Fantastic, thank you very much. And I didn't pay her to say that.
No.
No problem. I really do appreciate that. That means more to a small business like mine than anything else. And that it came via recommendation, it's really nice. Thank you very much.
Because you see,
This customer had to be one of my best customers ever. She's definitely in my top 5. If you can get to 94 years old and be as kind-hearted as this lovely woman was, then you've done something right in life. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've taken something away from it. I hope you're still enjoying the videos. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.